everything. What's up, family? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the MNTL Game Podcast. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, I appreciate you pulling up, listening. You know what I'm saying? If you've been rocking with the show for a while, you already know how we do it. I'm solo today, solo dolo. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with it. Everybody was kind of busy. Shout out that weekly text. Didn't get a reply, so I believe everybody busy. But I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet. Before we get started, man, quick shout out to MNTL Game, the clothing brand. You know, we more than just a podcast around here. You can check out our merch right now. I'm doing a little maintenance on the site right now, but should take me about a week or two get that back up and running. So the website, of course, is www.mentalgame.net. Go in there, get you some merch, man. We got a lot of good stuff on there. Got more stuff to come, man. If you known me in the past, I used to have like a men's / women's personal care line called Crescent City Caves. I've kind of adopted that into my mental game. You know, I have the mental state of mind candles, and I got the mental state of clean natural handmade soap coming out. So those will be out soon. Probably gonna put them on the website, but for now I'm gonna be doing pop-up shops. But in the meantime, just want to continue to remind everybody, continue to like, share, subscribe, share with your family, share with your friends, anybody who might be trying to grow. We might be able to reach them just by the stuff we talk about. So, if you see something, say something. I'm about to get rid of this TikTok thing. It keep echoing. So there we go. I don't have no echo no more. But quick birthday shout outs for the people in March, man. We in a new month, we got new things going on. So shout out to the people in March right now. I know my big brother Marcus, his birthday is in March. My nephew Trey, his birthday is in March, man. Shout out to y'all. If I'm forgetting anybody, I'm sorry. There's been a lot going on lately. Anybody celebrating anniversaries, birthdays in the month of March, man, we want to recognize y'all, man. Any anniversaries, you still here with us. You know what I'm saying? We want to recognize y'all. Survivors, succeeders, you know what I'm saying? The people that get up and fight every day to be here. Shout out to y'all. I know some people just wake up sometimes feeling like they just, you just can't do it. But man, thank you for, continue to press on and live, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people out here dying, man. A few random shout outs, man. Shout out to the people who opened the fridge knowing nothing changed last time you went in there. You just dry ass opening the fridge. Shout out to the folks that say I'm on the way, but they still sitting on the couch. We love you too. And like I said, man, shout out to everybody that's quietly, showing up, quietly healing and still showing up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the survivors. You made it through something nobody clapped for, man. Shout out to you. We didn't do a podcast last week. We laid to rest one of my dear friends, man. I didn't get to. I don't feel like I got to know him as long as I wanted to. You just felt like sometimes when you meet people and you're good friends and things are just going, you just think you just have so much time. We all on borrowed time. And, I thank God for this person. Thank God for just me having known him and him being in my life and showing me the things that he showed me. Before I get to the rest of the episode, I just want to say something about my homeboy who laid to rest last Saturday. His name was Josh Josh White. I'm not gonna say his middle name. I don't think he would want me to do him like that. But Joshua White, aka J Dub, man. We used to call him J. coalition, our friend group, my brother group. We called him J Dub. Now, my older brother Aaron and our other brother Courtney, they actually knew Josh first. You know what I'm saying? They knew him before I did because they used to work with him at TTE. We all truck drivers, so TTE is a trucking fuel company, and they all used to work together. I came to know J Dub and Carter later on in like our fantasy football league. But it's just funny how life works. Something that starts off as fantasy football, somewhere down the line it turns into a real brotherhood. And I'm thankful that it did. You know what I'm saying? But when I actually became a truck driver, that's when we all got closer. We started those little group chats and text lines and we all used to get on the phone together and talk on the phone on our hands-free headsets. You know what I'm saying? We used to, that's when we all got closer. Uh, we all realized we had the same kind of humor and the type of humor that probably shouldn't be said out loud, but we all shared that. We were all just guys just trying to figure out life, holding each other up, holding each other down, keeping each other grounded, laughing, joking, cracking jokes on each other most of the time. That's what J Dub was. He was really known for. You know what I'm saying? We all had this running joke. Uh, we all had this running joke. J Dub always kept that wooden spoon stirring stuff up because J Dub, used to like to cook. And I used to get on a couple of guys like, nah, you still got that metal spoon, we got that wooden spoon, and reserve the flavor. You know what I'm saying? While we were on the phone, if things got too quiet, if things were too quiet for too long while we were on the phone, J Dub would get the mixing stuff up. You know what I'm saying? That was just him. That was just the things that he did. I remember when I lost my job, and this was after the diagnosis. That he was diagnosed with cancer, and he had a spinal disease. I remember I lost my job, and he wasn't working either. And we had a real conversation about life, and he always told me things like, "Hey man, this ain't the end. You gonna make it. Everything's gonna be all right." And he had girls. His first couple kids was girls, and I have a daughter. So we talked about raising girls and stuff like that. And he just a real conversation between us two, and I'll never forget it. I remember he, in that conversation, he told me, he said, "JJ, you can call me anytime, man. My line 24." Cause I don't know if you knew, but I ain't got no job either. That was just remember him saying that, man. That was him, man. That's just the way he was. Even in the middle of his own storm, saying he still made room to encourage somebody else like me. Somebody he didn't know as long as his other friends, but he still accepted me like a brother. You know what I'm saying? Around the Super Bowl time, I'll never forget being at his house. We had the Super Bowl party at his house, and me and Carter were getting on him about eating because he was kind of at the end of his journey, and he wasn't eating much. We were getting on him about eating or eating better, something like that. We was getting on about, and he looked at me and said, "JJ, you find your way in here, right?" And I guess he was insinuating if I found my way into his house, I could find my way out. You know what I'm saying? So we bust out laughing, crying, laughing around that, man. We all lost it, bro. But but that's what I'm gonna miss the most about him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna miss the laughs, the things he used to say in the group chat, the conference calls. You know what I'm saying? All of us on the phone together, which we will continue. We're not just gonna stop just because we lost a brother. I don't think he would want us to stop, just like Carter had said when we were talking. I'm gonna miss the brotherhood. It definitely won't be the same without him. But I truly believe that he's in a better place. He's not in any pain anymore. He's not struggling. I believe he's truly at peace, man. And I love you, J Dub. And I for one, is gonna miss you. You forever be in our hearts. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep that wooden spoon stirring down here for you. You know what I mean? Uh moments like that remind you that life moves fast. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we don't realize how important people are until we're remembering them instead of just, being able to pick up the phone and call them. Um Friendships, brotherhoods, your family, those things matter. Time, just spending time with each other, while people are still living, those things matter. Um, Not everybody you meet become family. There's been a few people I've met in my life that, they were truly here for a season, you know, uh, to kind of teach you something and go on about your business. And, there's a lot of people that there's very few people that stay in your life and actually stay in your life. You know what I'm saying? But when that happens, that means it's real and it's worth appreciating if you have it. So, everybody out there, if you're listening to the sound of my voice or watching this podcast, man, if y'all got some real people in your life, man, hold on to them. That, is very rare, man. And I've been fortunate, very, very fortunate to find people in my life that actually genuinely care about me that's not family. And I want to say I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for, rocking with me as, I've gone through my struggles. I've bumped my head a few times and, just want to say it from here right now. And I appreciate it. Um, I know J Dub wouldn't want me on here, sobbing up, uh, being serious and stuff like that. I know he wouldn't want this episode to be sad. So I'm not going to do that. So let me ask y'all something, and post it in the comments, man. Post your answers in the comments. Think about your friends right now. You know, who's the one in the group? Who's the friend in the group that stirs the pot? Tag them in the comments. Tag them somewhere. Who is the friend? Put it out there publicly so they can see it. Tag them. Who's a friend in your group that always stirs the pot? Because I know every group got one. In my group, we definitely got a few. We kind of feed off each other on stirring the pot, so we definitely got a few. So, uh, you know, basically the one that strikes up a debate, you know what I'm saying? The one that sends the group that sends the group chat in chaos. We got another one of those. Oh, Happy always sending something in the group that's gonna be like, oh no, here Happy go again, man. But that's just Happy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But thankful for him too, man. I forgot to mention Happy. Uh but truthfully, those people keep the energy alive and we should be appreciative of them people as well, man. Um but like I said, I'm not gonna keep y'all long. This podcast was just gonna be short and sweet. I don't have any guests this week. Um just want to continue to remind y'all to, if you need help, get help. I'm always be the person to encourage you to uh be on the better side of your mental health, be on the better side of healing. You know what I'm saying? And don't let that negative stigma of the world keep you from reaching that best version of yourself. I want to encourage everybody to, man, just continue to go through this life, man. Go through your walk, do whatever it is that you need to do to survive and succeed in this world. Um, one thing I've been thinking about lately is how important it is, of course, to appreciate people while they still here and to always show them love. So if there's somebody in your family, one of your friends that you haven't talked to in a while, man, call them up. You know what I'm saying? Just say what's up. You ain't got to get all sobby, man. I love you, man. This, that. You ain't got to do all that. But, just call them up and just let them know how you feel. Let them know how you feel about them. Let them know you care. Why you still can. Because there's a few people, and you can look on my wall and see there's a few people I can't call and tell them that I care. You know what I'm saying? There's people I can't call and tell them that I miss them. So I want y'all to do that while they're still here. While that phone still works, while you can still call them, you know, call them up, let them know that you still care. That you know what I'm saying, ask them how their day is going, something like that, man. We missing that. We missing that human element in this life now, you know. Everybody's slowly but surely turning into androids. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just say complete robots, but you know, we not really acting human. We know we got this war going in the world now, and you know, you think we supposed to be in peace times and all this other stuff, man. But like we in a crazy situation in the world right now with everything that's going on, you know, good or bad. You know, it's just weird. It's a whole lot different from the '90s and the early 2000s when I was growing up. So, but you know, let's get back to that. You know, call your friends, check on them. You know, let's not wait for something to happen for us to start calling and checking on our people. You know, our friends, our family, our extended family, the ones that, you know, childhood friends and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Tell people you appreciate them now while you can still hear it. You know, crack those jokes while they can still hear it. Laugh with them. You know what I'm saying? Call them, check on them. Life don't always give us warning signs. You know, this isn't a car. This isn't a, you know what I'm saying? This isn't a vehicle. It's not going to give us warning signs. It's not, life is not a machine. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, tap in with your people. And I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. I appreciate, but with all that being said, man, I appreciate everybody that's listened. I appreciate everybody that's watched, you know, everybody on this live. Just want to thank y'all for rocking with the Mental Game Podcast and everything that we do and everything that we represent. I've been reaching out to brand. I'm looking for brand ambassadors for Mental Game. If you need to, man, hit me up. Reach me on my Instagram. Reach me on Facebook. Even you can even reach me, you know, through email. I'm looking for brand ambassadors. I've been reaching out to different companies like BetterHelp and you know, different celebrities and stuff like that. I'm looking for people to get on the podcast, man. Uh, I'm not opposed, you know what I'm saying? Just bring some mindful intellect, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you don't have to be political. You know, I really don't like to talk politics on the podcast. You ain't gotta be political. You ain't gotta be philosophical. You ain't gotta be a philosopher. You know, I don't think any of us are philosophers. You know, we just regular people on here. This is a safe space for you to come on and talk about life. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? How you feeling? You know, let us know. You know, if you know, any kind of way, you know, you move to want to come on here and share some things about yourself on the Mental Game Podcast, hey, you're more than welcome. I'm open to that. But you know, slowly but surely, man. This year has been kind of slow, but we're getting back on it. And I believe everything's gonna be great this year. 2026 is gonna be a great year. And you know, I thank God that uh for all the moves that's been made. Thing my steps, you know, you start to see your ordered steps, you know what I'm saying? Like you start to get in that little rhythm. So, you know, I'm thankful for um what's going to come. Yeah, it's gonna be a great year for Mental Game. Anyway, let me go ahead and close this thing out, man. I want to continue to remind y'all to just continue to be focused and not foolish, man. Remember, man, if y'all need some merch or anything like that, you can go ahead and catch it on mentalgame.net. That's MNTL GAME.net, man. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, share this with your family member, man. Somebody might need to know this information, you know what I'm saying? Might want to support a black business or something, you know what I'm saying? Just off of willy-nilly. You never know. But I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for listening, man. I love y'all. And hey, we out. Holla at y'all.